Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are back for some more Carolina Panthers franchise. Hope you guys had a good weekend. It's Monday. Time to get back at it. Now, I am off today, which means I can stream another game, which I do plan on doing. And you guys will find out what that game is after this one. But we're going to continue our daily stream of Madden, or at least the 5 days a week that I can stream it. Going into week 2, we are 1-0, going up against the 1-0 Philadelphia Eagles. Our defensive coordinator wants to talk about Fletcher Cox, or our offensive coordinator. And our O-line is ready for him. I don't think we're going to get sacked too much. I think that we've done a very good job with our offensive line. I think that we've really prepared and really set up our team to be successful. I mean, look at our O-line. I mean, they're all star development. I mean, they're going to get better and better and better, as the days go on. And then our defense is just as good. I mean, Shaq Griffin has to play really, really well to get his development up. But I mean, other than Eric Reed, other than Eric Reed not being a high development, we have a lot of good players on this team. A lot of players that, when players like Eric Berry, whenever Eric Berry retires or regresses to the point where he's unplayable, even if I moved him to safety, if he stays a 79, 80 overall, and I move him to safety, I mean, he's still going to have phenomenal zone coverage and, decent speed and good catching, and so he'll still be able to play on the team, which is a good thing, because then that means that Eric Reed, even though he's still under the age of 30, he still has a couple years to develop. And then Trey Boston, also still under the age of 30 at 28. I mean, he has 84 zone coverage. I mean, he's getting much, much better as well. So, going forward, I'm really excited because that means that I can move Eric Berry to strong safety like he used to play. And then Eric Reed would play probably backup safety or zone corner in my nickel and dime sets. We've got Greedy Williams, who's coming up, who's young. Byron Murphy, who's young. James Bradbury's getting up there in age. I mean, how old is he? 30? Or he's 27. Dante Jackson, very young at 24. He's got plenty of time to develop. So, and then we've got Jackson and Vernon Butler, at defensive end that are going to play phenomenally. I mean, Kerry Jackson coming out of Michigan State. I mean, he's a rookie, and I already expect big things from him. And then, Richard Vasher, sorry. He's going to come out and play well. Luke Stamey is hidden. I mean, he's going to come out, and he's already playing very Dontari Poe-esque. Got to boost his speed rusher, though, and that's what we're really going to focus on. But Kawan. So our whole team, I'm very confident in, and I think that we're going to do great things going forward. We do have Bryce Love, Trent Taylor in the slot, and then our practice squad, we do have a handful of players like Terry Godwin, Robert Foster, Quentin Kitchens, Aaron Bowers, I believe it's Aaron Bowers. Yeah, Aaron Bowers, Quadri Henderson, Stephen Dunbar, Kyle Allen. I mean, we've got some players that are going to, develop over the period of the next few seasons that we put into this. So, let's go ahead and hop into our weekly training. We're gonna do the offensive one. So we have Luke Stamey, Jordan Scarlett, and Dez Bryant, all being developed. Dez, mostly due to the fact that he's getting older. I think Luke Stamey, I'm gonna move it from Jordan Scarlett, and I'm gonna move it to my other veteran. And that's going to be Eric Berry. I want Eric Berry to get as much XP as possible so that he can play going into the future. I want to move him to safety as he regresses, because he's going to regress. And even if I highly doubt he's going to get superstar X Factor, but if we can at least get him to superstar probably by next season, and even if he doesn't, he's still going to be a good veteran, and he's going to be a great guy to have on the team as long as we can possibly keep him. And we'll probably get rid of him either in the offseason this season, or the offseason next season. So we'll see how he plays and how far he regresses going into the postseason, if we even make the postseason. Oh, this is the training. Don't want that. The tutorial. Don't need the tutorial. I need the actual training where we can throw to Trent Taylor. So I'm very excited about our team. Game 1, really, it was a lot closer. I mean, that rookie in St. Louis is going to cause some problems going forward. Oh well, we're not gonna fall for that. We're gonna gold this because I would like to keep it as simple as possible going forward. Here we go. Nice job, Ian Thomas. And then Ian Thomas has played very well too. You know, he makes some big catches. He's got very receiver-esque qualities. Greg Olson stepping down. Oh, couldn't upcut to get the first. But yeah, like I said, regression is the biggest problem going forward with especially our veterans like Des Bryant and Eric Berry, Joe McCoy and Kawan Short, who are all up there in age now. So, you know, they are going to be more focal points at hoping that they can play well. And if they can't, then that means that we either have to go draft or we have to go trade, and we have to go look for players of the same caliber or look for players for replacements. I mean, looking at outside linebacker, I mean, look at Thomas Davis's replacement of Brian Burns, and then look at where he's at now. He's playing phenomenally. I mean, Thomas Davis was one of the outside linebackers, and he went to the Chargers, and he's killing it right now. I mean, literally, he is, you know, he racked up like, what was it, like 14 sacks last year? Brian Burns had a phenomenal season for us in our first season, and he killed it, and I'm really looking forward to him coming out and doing the same thing. So we'll see if he does that. We'll see if our rookies play to the same level. And real quick, because I don't think he's I don't think he is, and I really want him to be my rush DT. Right now it's Joe McCoy. My rush right end is Kawan. My rush left end is Brian. My starting DT is Luke Stamey, and then Richard Vasher coming up behind him. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to determine if I want to move Vernon Butler to D-tackle, which he would be very good at D-tackle. His block shedding isn't even all that great, and it's his power moves and his play rec that he has and his awareness. He's really good. He's a whole lot better than I thought he would be, honestly. He has been in the league 4 years, though. He does play very, very well. You know, my defensive line stamina is absolutely abysmal. I'm going to have to work on that going forward, looking for better stamina players. Vernon Butler has the highest amount of stamina. Like, he has the most stamina of anybody right now on my D-line. Oh, well, he's been getting reps, and I've noticed it. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade some players. We do get to upgrade Luke Stamey, our rookie. I'm going to keep boosting. We're going to keep boosting his speed rusher right now. Just because if we can eventually max him out for that, and then we get to move Trevante Godfrey. He gets to stay scheme fit. It's that good release, which is more important for him. I mean, he eventually will have probably all green in his base stats. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right on into it. We're playing at home. So we're going to change the unis because I can. Why not? Color Rush. No, we wore those last game. Yeah, let's rock the black home option. And then the Eagles have a pretty nice... they have some throwback unis I want to try. Yeah, do they have the away ones of these? Yeah! We're going to rock their 1980s away uniforms. Because I heard that they were going to bring those back, but I guess they haven't. And Deshaun Jackson came out for the Eagles on Sunday and did a tremendous job in real life. Anyway, let's look forward to this. I mean, I'm very excited for this. I'm excited to see what we can do. I'm excited to go forward. I mean, we're coming off of a Super Bowl win. Whoops, didn't mean to skip that, but oh well. Panthers, Eagles. Here we go, starting off. Force a habit because I play an offline franchise where I skip all the intros. So I have to get back into the habit of not skipping it. Oh well. I think we played the Eagles in the preseason. But out it's going to come Carson Wentz, starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. He has 1 touchdown on 179 passing yards, 18 for 22 in their first game, where they came out with a win. So one of the teams will be walking out of here with a loss, and we will find out if the Panthers are the team to do that or if it's the Eagles. Carson Wentz under center, 2 tight ends. He's got Zach Ertz to his right side. He's going to hand off right up the middle. That's a fumble right off the bat. Scooped up by Brian Burns, and Luke Kuechly setting the tone right off the first play. And that's Nilsson Hines. What a play. Big hit first play. And it's already Panthers football. Luke Kuechly comes in and levels Hines in the backfield. That's a great way to start the game. And out's going to come the Panthers offense led by Jordan Scarlett and Cam Newton. Jordan Scarlett came out with he broke the single season rushing yards record last year with over 2,000. And he's going to come out and he's going to try and do the same thing. Last week, 24 carries, 126 yards and a touchdown. And if he stays on that level, he's going to do it again. Cam Newton coming out in read option, and Cam Newton off to the races, and he's going to score a touchdown. Too easy on the second play of the game that actually had positive yardage. Cam Newton comes out read option, and they just adding this new read option to our offense, is a whole new thing. It just changes the game so dramatically, especially with Cam Newton and how good he is on the run. Graham Gano to kick the extra point, and it is up and good as the Panthers lead 7-0 within the first 32 seconds of play. So Mike Pilardi out to kick off, and the Eagles get a second chance. So we're going to try this again. Off the crossbar there for Pilardi. So out comes Carson Wentz, and he's going to come out with his offense, and they're going to try and not fumble the ball away again. So stack formation to the right side and single receiver to the left. They're going to hand it off to Hines. Hines with a big lane, and Hines with a gain of about 18. Call it a gain of 17 as he moves the chains down to the 42-yard line. Very good carry and nice redemption run there on his actual first run of the game. 3 tight ends to the left. It's going to be another handoff to Hines, and Kuechly comes in and lays a big hit right on Hines as he tries to run down the middle. Here's a look at the Eagles' offense. Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, Jason Kelsey, Isaac Somalo, and Andre Dillard. Backs and receivers are Alshon Jeffrey, Miles Sanders, Hines, Zach Ertz, and then they have a rookie wide receiver or somebody I don't know their name off the top of my head at the other receiver spot. Dropping back, firing, and that's going to be wide open number 16. He's going to move the chains. Oh, that's Mac Hollins. It should be a number 2. There you go. 3rd and 1. Coming out here in the gun for Carson Wentz. 3 receivers to the left side. It's a counter play, and Hines is going to pick up the first down with forward progression. Nice job by Kawan Short to wrap him up, as he's not going to gain much more than that. And under center, Carson Wentz. He's going to drop back. 5-step drop. He's firing wide open over the middle, and that's going to be a wide open receiver, number 19. And he's going to move the chains, and that's a weird last name, Arcega Whiteside, coming out to move the chains for him. Under center, and that's Zach Ertz to the left at tight end. In the backfield is Hines. Play action. He's rolling, feels the pressure, and gets wrapped up for a sack. Shaquem Griffin comes in for a sack. And I'm very excited to see what he can do this season, as he's got some of the best speed at linebacker you will ever find. 91 speed at outside linebacker. Him coming off that edge, especially going up against Andre Dillard at left tackle. I mean, I think he's going to have a day. If they're running play action plays, if they run anything that has extended time in the pocket, he's going to get wrapped up for sacks all game, especially by Shaquem Griffin. He only has one hand, ladies and gentlemen. This guy came from UCF. He almost didn't get an invite to the Combine. He was almost not invited to the combine, and then he goes and runs a sub 4.5 40. Here's a look at the Panthers defense, led by the man who just had the sack, Shaquem Griffin, Luke Kuechly, Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson, Eric Reed, Trey Boston, Eric Berry, and Dante Jackson. Then on the D-line is Joe McCoy, Luke Stamey, and Kawan Short. Brings up a 3rd and 13 here, 6:38 at the 35-yard line for Wentz. Sanders in the backfield. He drops back for Wentz and dumps off to Sanders, and Luke Kuechly comes and lays a big hit on the former. Brings out a 4th and 13, a little bit farther of a field goal. They could have made this, but maybe they're not comfortable with their kicker. And it's going to be Weil to punt. Yes, we did play the Eagles in the preseason. And he's going to punt it out. A very nice punt. That brings us out to the 8-yard line. No return for DeAndrew White, unfortunately, but here we go. Here's Jordan Scarlett running to the right side, and we are going to try and get some blocks and wrapped up immediately there. No luck. Derek Barnett coming in on the stop. Going to come out in the gun here for Cam Newton. Bryce Love to the right side. 2 receivers to the left. It's a handoff. He doesn't get that extra block by the left guard, who's supposed to break off of the double team to pick up the block. Cam Newton coming out in the gun. Bryce Love to the left in a 3-receiver formation to the right side with Des Bryant far left. Cam Newton comes back, drops back in the gun. He's looking, escaping the pocket. He rolls out. He's going to lower his shoulder, and does he pick up the first? He's going to be pretty darn close. Yes, he does. Cam Newton on a roll so far today. He's got 2 carries, 54 yards, or I believe, no, 39 yards, sorry, on the ground for Cam Newton as he felt the pressure and does what Cam Newton does, and that is make plays. Make big plays, and he does that phenomenally. Here's Cam Newton under center. Handoff, counterplay to Jordan Scarlett, bouncing outside. He's going to cut back inside, and Jordan Scarlett wrapped up for a gain of... I honestly don't really know. A nice carry there for him, though, on first down. Tried to determine it in my head, but I couldn't quite figure out the math. Here we go, Cam Newton coming out. This is an RPO. So we're going to watch what they do, and it's going to be an incomplete pass, intended that time for number 82, his first pass incomplete. Coming out 2nd and 10. In the gun, Ian Thomas to the right side at tight end. Des Bryant far right. Dropping back for Cam. In the pocket, feels the pressure, fires, that's to Des Bryant. Des Bryant tries to stiff arm his way even farther. I believe he's brought down by Maddox. But his first reception goes for 19. Nice job, Des. And that is Sante Maddox or Avante Maddox, one of the two. Riley Ridley out to the left. He's going to dump off, and that is to Riley Ridley, and he's going to get wrapped up after getting back to the line of scrimmage. Coming out under center for Cam Newton. I'm going to watch Fletcher Cox throw my left guard right away. Oh, and a big block by the left guard. Okay, nice trap block there on Fletcher Cox. I like that. That's a good look. Cam Newton in the gun this time. Bryce Love in the backfield, drops back. He's looking. Cam Newton feeling the pressure, rolling out. Tries to keep his eyes downfield, tries to motion somebody. He's going to float it, and out of bounds. DJ Moore not able to stay in bounds as Cam Newton tried to find him deep. A 59-yard field goal attempt for the kicker, Graham Gano. And he kicks it, and it's going to be up and good with the wind. He probably could have gone another 10 yards. Nice job by Graham Gano, and he's going to be handing kickoff duties to Mike Pilardi here as he's going to kick us off as Carolina takes a 10-point lead. And the Eagles have an opportunity to respond. Alshon Jeffrey, one of their biggest acquisitions a couple years ago. And then recently, it was Deshaun Jackson, the speedster and former Eagle. Out comes Carson Wentz in a 2 tight end formation to the right. It's going to be a handoff play action to Hines. And he's looking, firing deep. And this is for number 86. This is Zach Ertz with Brian Burns draped all over him. A 40-yard reception. to move them down to the 35, and they want to respond, and they want to do it quickly. A beautiful pass from Carson Wentz to Zach Ertz, a very good connection right there that they have developed. And Brian Burns was right there the whole time, and watch the slow-mo. Brian Burns right there. And that's just how good Zach Ertz is at tight end. Brian Burns unable to break that up, and that's going to bring out a 1st and 10 down to the 35-yard line for Carson Wentz. 2 tight ends in the to the right side again. Hines in the backfield. Play action again. He feels the pressure. That's McCoy, and Gerald McCoy comes in for the sack. Sends him back 12 yards. And that's what I'm looking for in the veterans. Gerald McCoy coming up for big plays. He rips right through the left guard Sumalo and just absolutely devours Carson Wentz in the backfield. They run, like I said, play action, any extended play action plays or plays that allow them to be extended in the pocket is going to end up in bad things for this Eagles offense. This D-line and this pass rush is just so deadly. Empty set here for Carson Wentz now. 2nd and 22. He fires to his number 1 target, Zach Ertz, but that's a fumble forced by Kuechly. Scooped up by Griffin. Griffin has it, and he's going to get wrapped up by the left guard, Sumalo. So the 2nd fumble for the Eagles offense. And it was on Zach Ertz. Running outside is Jordan Scarlett, and he breaks loose. Scarlett off to the races. Stiff arms on Maddox and brings it down to the 11-yard line. Sidney Jones is going to get hurt on the play. But again, like I said, Jordan Scarlett is just so good. I'm very excited to see what he does. And number 22, very frustrated throwing his helmet. That's an animation I have not seen yet. Here we go. Panthers in scoring range now. Inside the red zone at the 11-yard line. Another handoff, and that's to Scarlett. And Scarlett's going to get wrapped up there by number 29, Maddox. Looking for Scarlett to score. He wants a touchdown, and I'm trying to get him touchdowns because that helps him. I mean, the yardage helps him a lot as well as scoring touchdowns. I mean, they're both very helpful for him. It's a handoff, and Jordan Scarlett breaks the plane. End zone touchdown brought down by the safety, number 27, Malcolm Jenkins. But not fast enough to stop him before he scores as Jordan Scarlett makes his way into the end zone and gives the Panthers a 17-0 lead. It's still the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. We still have 3 quarters left to play. There really is, like, the Eagles really have to step it up. I mean, they've made some big plays. They did some good things. But the fumbles are what's really halting their progress. They've got to hold on to the football. And again, I'm not user hit sticking these. These are all on Luke Kuechly. Chester Lockhart in the game. And 3 tight ends in the game. Hines in the backfield. It's going to be a counter handoff to Hines. He's got open space, and he's going to get wrapped up by Trey Boston. Nyheim Hines, or I believe it's Nyheim Hines. I don't really know how to pronounce his name. His name is Hines. He had a very solid game last week. Wentz in the gun, 2nd and 1. That's going to be a counter, and it's going to be a handoff, and wrapped up, almost sacked. Brian Burns coming off that edge with some ferocity. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. Carson Wentz in the gun with Hines to his right. 4 receivers in the game. He drops back, runs the screen. It's to Hines. And a big hit, another fumble. Scooped up by Stamey, and he's going to get wrapped up by number 65. A 2nd fumble for Hines. Kuechly is all over the field today. Luke Kuechly just wants everybody to fumble. He's just playing defense like crazy. Here's Sprinkle in motion. Jordan Scarlett in the backfield. It's a motion crack block, and here's Scarlett, who's going to get wrapped up there by number 42. That's Andrew Sendejo, the former Minnesota Viking. Cam Newton motions Ian Thomas to step down wham block, and there's the wham. And Scarlett cuts a little early. Only picks up about a yard, brings up a 3rd and 5. That's going to bring the end of the first quarter to of play. 17-0. Carolina leads at home. Eagles still trail. They need some points, and the Panthers have been all over them on defense. Oh, Trent Taylor's going to be wide open on this. Watch Trent Taylor in the slot right there. Or maybe not. Rolling out, Cam Newton. Looking, firing, and that's Trent Taylor making a nice catch. And he's going to get brought down to the 1-yard line. Nice job, Cam to Trent. And that's why I signed or traded or picked up Trent Taylor. Because he plays like that. Actually, he was a free agent. Firing, that's Dez Bryant. Throw up the X. There it is. Dez Bryant still scoring touchdowns this late in his career. He's going to be one of the best wide receivers to ever do it. And Graham Gano's extra point is up and good. 24-0 as this blowout continues. I might have to stop trying. I mean, I'm not even really trying. I mean, I'm going to have to start letting the CPU do a lot more running. And McLeod to return. Brings it out, and he's going to get wrapped up at the 27-yard line. Dez Bryant has 2 receiving touchdowns this season already. And that is the man of the hour, Luke Kuechly. Watch him. He's been forcing fumbles all day. All game long has been nothing but fumbles from that man himself, Luke Kuechly, one of the best players in the NFL. Our 99 overall middle linebacker. It's a handoff to Hines. Hines with a nice carry, gain of about 8. Called a gain of 9, and they move down to a 2nd and 1. They got to keep handing it off to Hines because it seems to be working. They just got to do it away from Kuechly. Another handoff to Hines, and he's going to get met. And does he move the chains? I think he might. It's going to bring up 3rd and inches. And a first down pickup for Hines there. His 10th carry, 4.5 yards per carry. I'm just going to start sending. I'm going to be a little bit more dangerous since we're up by so much. I can start trying to make more big plays. Here's Eric Reed to wrap him up. Brings up a 2nd and 5. I'm just going to start running a lot more blitzes. It's going to be a lot more risky, but it's going to allow us to try and get some more sacks. Firing to Ertz, who's wrapped up and thrown down by Eric Reed. Carson Wentz has come out and played very good football the past couple of years, or since he's even been a starter. First target for Alshon Jeffrey, and first reception. Nice job, as we've had Eric Berry shadowing him and Deshaun Jackson pretty much all game. Handoff to Hines, who's going to get met and wrapped up by a host of Carolina Panthers. Nowhere to go on that one. Wentz comes out, 2nd and 8 in the gun. Ertz to his left. It's going to be play action. And intercepted by Dante Jackson, the league's interception leader last year. He's going to juke out an offensive lineman, try and spin even farther. Dante Jackson had 9 picks last year, I believe. 8 or 9. He was the league's best corner. He's already got, I believe, 2 on the season so far. Watch the read option here. We're going to watch the D end. It's going to be a handoff. Oh, try and juke him, but Malcolm Jenkins unfazed. He's going to wrap him up at the line of scrimmage on that one. They're sending a blitz. I'm going to watch to try and throw to DJ Moore here. And that's to DJ. He makes one man miss and picks up a couple. Call it a gain of about 5. Moves it to a 3rd and 6. I really want to test Dez Bryant deep here, and we're going to attempt that. Dropping back. Sending it deep, and I think he overthrew him. Knocked away. Incomplete. Deep on 3rd down, intended for Dez Bryant. Just going to call on a punt. Andrew Sendejo there on the coverage. Mike Pilardi to punt. And he's going to have some backspin on this one. And a beautiful punt. And nice down by Greedy Williams. He downs it at the 10-yard line. Nice job, and the Eagles have a whole 90 yards to drive to score. Handoff. Hines with a big lane, and Hines with a big run out to the 27. Nice gain of 17. He has 69 yards. That is very nice. If anyone gets my reference there.
Here we go.
Carson Wentz adjusting his helmet. He's going to drop back RPO, and that's to Deshaun Jackson. And Deshaun Jackson fumbles, picked up by Shaq Griffin. Shaquem Griffin to the races, and he's in the end zone. Shaquem Griffin, scoop and score on the Luke Kuechly forced fumble. Big play. Luke Kuechly has forced 4 fumbles today. 31-0. As Carolina just absolutely dominates. Here's Mike Pilardi to kick off. Back to return, number 14, McLeod trying to find something. DeAndre White hasn't even had a single kick return yet, and he won't until the second half when they kick off to us because we start with the ball because we gave them the ball the first time. DeAndre White might only have 1 kick return this game. Hines gets wrapped up immediately by Shaq Thompson. And Kawan short there. 14 carries, 70 yards. Hines has been running very, very successfully, just fumbling a lot. Drop back. Here's a screen to Hines. And met and wrapped up by Trey Boston. Just this defense, like I said, going forward, it's going to just... Until Kuechly retires, this is going to be dangerous. Until most of the players on my defense that are veterans retire. And again, another one. That's number 5. He gets up. And he tries to break through Dallas Goedert's tackle. Eric Reed with a fumble recovery. That's Kuechly's 5th today. Luke Kuechly, you are something else. Here we go. Give me that good trap block as he threw him away. Here's Jordan Scarlett bouncing to the outside, and he's going to be untouched. Second rushing touchdown for Jordan Scarlett, untouched, going into the end zone. And the kick is up and good. Will Greer snap down. The Panthers are really feeling themselves right now, especially on defense. They are excited. They are happy. Here's McLeod to return. And he brings it out, a nice return past the 25 to the 27.
Come on, fellas.
And McLeod doing a very nice job, as best as he can. Wentz comes out, 2 tight ends. They really have no answer for this defense. It's a handoff to Hines. And Hines is going to get wrapped up by Vernon Butler. Again, like I said, Vernon Butler, someone I'm really looking forward to using, but I want to try and utilize Joe McCoy and Kawan Short as long as I can. But I'm not going to lie, Joe McCoy will probably be getting traded soon. And Alshon Jeffrey. That's why Alshon Jeffrey is so good. And that's why the Eagles picked him up. He is tall, physical. He's a dominant receiver when you let him. Now that's Eric Berry. But Eric Berry he was playing the receiver instead of playing the ball. So he was basically making sure that there was no rack after the play. He was just making sure that if he caught it, he went down immediately. Quick pass, caught by Alshon Jeffrey, back-to-back receptions for AJ. So like I was saying, the Carolina Panthers have a possible trade player in Joe McCoy who, going forward, I mean, he's older, and I mean, Vernon Butler could come right in and step into his place. Hines with a false start in the backfield. If they really found somebody that they really want to use, they could trade McCoy, but they really don't need to. Vernon Butler, even when he comes in for the few snaps that he gets, he plays out of his mind. Here's a reception for Ertz, moving the chains to a gain of about 6. Called a gain of 7. Moving him down to the 32-yard line. It's a 2-minute warning here. 38-0 as the Panthers dominatingly have control of this game. Here's Trey Boston at the single high safety. Wentz, incomplete. It's going to bring out their kicker. And number 5 out to kick. Snap down, up, and good. 4-3 as they get on the board. They're not going to get shut out. And that's Karstens to make the field goal. So DeAndrew White's first kick return will come before halftime. But he's actually not even going to get to return it, unfortunately. DeAndrew, I feel so bad for you right now just because of the amount of points that have been scored. Anyway, here we go. Cam Newton in the gun with 1:53 left at the 25. Going to look to hand off to Bryce Love. Bryce Love gets the carry and gets wrapped up immediately by number 54. That's Eli Harold, former San Francisco 49er. Cam Newton coming out in the gun. Dropping back. Firing. That's a wide open DJ Moore, who's going to move the chains down to the 38-yard line. Cam Newton coming out in the gun. Bryce Love to his right. Ian Thomas slot right. Quick pass dump off to Bryce Love and moves the chains 10 yards. Cam Newton coming out looking like Tom Brady the way that he's throwing. He is moving the chains at will. First down after first down. Dropping back. Cam Newton. That's who I meant to throw to. Trent Taylor moves the chains. Nice job, Trent. First and 10. 22 seconds left. Bryce Love with a nice carry, and he moves the chains. Second and 3. 3 seconds left. And that's going to end the first half. 38-3, a 35-point lead by the Panthers against... These are Super Bowl champions, guys. Not last year's, not the year before, but 3 years ago, Eagles won the Super Bowl against the Patriots. I mean, coming out, we're going to just play a lot of AI ball. Here's a look around the league, though, at some of the games going on. So one of them, the first game, is going to be down in New Orleans. There we go. That's a division game, so whoever wins this one is good. Honestly, either one of them losing it is kind of good. And that's Marquell Walker, who we played last week. Here's Tennessee at Cincinnati, where Tennessee holds a 2-score lead. Marcus Mariota with 2 passing touchdowns. Andy Dalton and company. A.J. Green has the only touchdown reception. And here's Tampa Bay, our division rival, who is leading the Vikings by 1 score with 1.5 minutes left in the first half. 14-7, Jameis Winston looking to try and win it, but hopefully they lose it. We don't want any competition in our division. Here's a look at some of the highlights. Cam Newton's first read option play of the game goes for a touchdown. And here's a look at Djax getting absolutely lit up by Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly's forced like 5 or 6 fumbles already. Shaq Griffin scooping that one up and going the distance. And here's a look at DeAndrew White. If he even gets a chance, if Karstens doesn't kick it out of the back of the end zone, which he will. No return for DeAndrew White so far. I feel so bad for him. I just wish that I could give him a kick return. And I don't really want to move him to wide receiver because then that would mean that the starters that I have aren't going to get as many reps. Jordan Scarlett getting lost in the backfield, losing 3. So 2nd and 10, nice tackle for number 53. And that's Nigel Bradham. He's been with the Eagles for a long time now. Cam Newton coming out in the gun. Dropping back. Firing for Dez. Dez going to get wrapped up after a gain of about 6. Called a 3rd and 7 now. Cam Newton coming back out in the gun. Dropping back. Feels the pressure. Rolls. Fires. And that's Dez Bryant once again. That's Rasul Douglas going down with an injury. Like I said, Dez Bryant is so good. I feel like he's going to play another year. And I'm trying to keep signing him as long as he's going to be good. Jordan Scarlett with a good carry, and he moves it down to the 50. A nice carry of about 6. Moves the chains. Nice job for Jordan Scarlett. again, I think he's going to be the league's best runner going into the next season. Caught by DJ Moore, but losing a yard. Nice job by Sidney Jones. Here we go, Cam Newton coming out in the gun once again. Scarlett to his right. Des Bryant far left. Looks like they're going to double team Des. Firing over the middle, that's Trent Taylor, who makes a nice catch, moves the chains. Third reception for Trent Taylor. Coming out 1st and 10 here. Dropping back. Firing outside, that's DJ Moore who makes the catch, wrapped up there by Maddox and Jenkins. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line, on the cusp of the red zone. Handoff. Jordan Scarlett with a nice carry, moves the chains down. 8-yard gain on 1st down, called a gain of 7. Cam Newton the pistol. It's going to be a handoff to Scarlett, who's going to get immediately wrapped up there by Derek Barnett. Another tackle for a loss for Derek. And that's going to call out a 3rd and 5. Cam Newton coming out in the gun. And Ian Thomas is going to be running one of my favorite routes. It's a stick route. And floating, and that's going to be wide open in the end zone. Ian Thomas. It's too easy. First receiving touchdown of the game for Ian Thomas, who's coming out because Greg Olson's getting a little bit older. And Ian Thomas, he deserves it. And that means, I'm able to get Greg Olson some reps, but he's just not going to be getting as many. And I might actually trade Greg Olson due to the fact that maybe I could find another corner that I could develop going into the future. And actually, we'll try that. We'll take a look at some of the trade offers we can get for some of our veterans, like Greg Olson, for players that aren't even really playing all that much. I mean, Greg Olson isn't really seeing the field too much, and he hasn't really made enough big plays. And then we have Ian Thomas and Jeremy Sprinkle, and maybe we trade him to a team that has a backup tight end or even a starting tight end that's much younger, someone that we can actually use. I don't know. We'll take a look. We'll see what trade offers we can get. Play action. Firing quick to Ertz, but incomplete. Eric Reed there to knock him incomplete. That's 2 tight ends to the left side and a 2 receiver formation to the right. Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, handoff to Hines. Hines going to get met in the backfield, losing yards. Called a 3rd and 8. Actually, I think he gained about 2. Coming out once again, 3rd and 8. For Wentz and company. Dropping back. All day to throw. Stamey. He feels the pressure, and that's a strip sack. Scooped up by Vernon Butler. That's why Brian Burns is so good. He got another sack on the game, or of the season. Vernon Butler comes out. And watch this one more time. Now, this is one of the problems with our team, though. Going forward, this is why I want Vernon Butler more. Now, watch number 92 and 93 here. So, Gerald McCoy, that's our front 4 right there. And we got Kawan Short coming off the edge. So, watch this. So, Gerald McCoy is fighting through that double team. And then Vernon Butler gets almost through there. He gets a little caught up. But Brian Burns on Lane Johnson, that's a very good matchup. Brian Burns, he's coming through, getting the one arm. He's trying, and Lane Johnson, one of the best right tackles in football, just can't stay with him the whole way. And Carson Wentz went to go throw it. He went to go find somebody, and Brian Burns just comes and strips it out. That's why Brian Burns is so good, and I really like what Brian Burns brings to the table. I really do. Here we go, Cam Newton under center. He's going to get met and leveled by number 97. That's Malik Jackson. Here we are, coming out. In the gun for Cam Newton, dropping back. Firing. Incomplete, intended for DJ Moore that time. In the gun once again, Bryce Love to his right, Ian Thomas. Tight end to the right side as he's going to stay in and block. And putting this one deep for Des Bryant. Incomplete. Rasul Douglas to knock it away. Intended for Dez that time. Going to call on a Michael Pilardi punt. And he's going to put it up high. It's going to be in just past the 20, 22-yard line.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Here we go, under center. Two tight ends to the right side for Wentz. Wentz motions Dallas Goedert. He's got all day. All day. And he has to throw it away. Feels the pressure. That was perfect defense. Locking them up. Wentz under center. Another handoff to Hines. Hines bouncing outside, and he's going to get wrapped up there by Eric Reed. He's all over the field today. Nice job, Eric Reed. Wentz in the gun. Dropping back, firing, and finding his man, number 19. Moving the chains is the man who's hard to pronounce, Arcega Whiteside. Wentz under center with one tight end to the left, and time's starting to run out. They need some points on the board. Firing over the middle, that's Zach Ertz. He's going to break off of one. Zach Ertz off to the races. Getting chased by Kawan Short. He could go the distance. Zach Ertz all the way to the end zone for the Eagles. 62 yards for Zach Ertz. And the Eagles finally score a touchdown. Karsten's out to kick the extra points. And he puts it up. And is good for the extra point as they finally have a touchdown, and that's going to give DeAndrew White another opportunity to return it, and I don't think he's going to get to return it. They're going to kick it. Oh, wait, he does. He's coming out of the end zone. DeAndrew White wants to spread his legs. Oh, he's going to bounce it outside and almost breaks that one loose. He would have escaped that shoestring tackle. He might have been gone. Here's Jordan Scarlett in the backfield. Three tight ends to the right side. We're going to motion Sprinkle. Jeremy Sprinkle in motion. Here we go. He's going to be going, and that's immediately wrapped up by number 54, Eli Harold. Now 2nd and 14 for Cam Newton. 20-yard line for Cam. Feels the pressure and knocked away, incomplete. Right in his face is Brandon Graham. Here we go. Cam Newton in the gun once again. Bryce Love in the backfield. Dropping back. He's sending this one way deep, intercepted by Maddox. And that's an interception at the 29-yard line for Asante Maddox. And the Eagles come back out on offense. They're looking for a comeback. Now they do have a long ways to go, but it's a possibility. Play action. Coming off the edge, and that's Gerald McCoy getting there for number 2 today. Oh, look at that dance move. Gerald McCoy getting into it as he shoots his free throw. That man is over 30 years old. He is still playing phenomenal football. Handoff to Hines. Immediately wrapped up by Eric Reed. Eric Reed, like I said, he's all over today. He is on every tackle almost. Quick pass. Knocked away by Eric Berry, intended for Alshon Jeffrey. Nice job, EB. Brings up a 4th and 18. And Wild to boot it. DeAndrew White back to return. And he's going to get wrapped up by number 32, Rasul Douglas. Brings it out to the 25-yard line. Probably should have bounced it to the right side, but oh well. If Dez Bryant can do good on this pass. Got a pump fake, but a strip sack picked up by Darrell Williams. Fletcher Cox gets in the backfield. Brings up a 2nd and 20. Coming back, Cam Newton. He's rolling out. Feeling the pressure. Cam Newton on 2nd and 20 is going to pick up about, calling him about 12. Makes it a 3rd and 8. Dropping back. Dumping to Scarlett. And he can't break away from number 22, Sidney Jones. That brings up a punt. Mike Pilardi on to punt. And Deshaun Jackson gets leveled by Byron Murphy.
Let's go! Check. Watch 54. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Forced incomplete, intended for Alshon Jeffrey that time. Kuechly's in the zone right now. Motions Alshon Jeffrey to the right. Wentz firing, knocked away. Nice job, James Bradbury. Firing, intercepted by Eric Berry. He breaks away. Eric Berry with speed, and he's going to get brought down at the 21-yard line. Eric Berry with the interception. You keep trying to target him. You keep trying to target to that side of the field, and Eric Berry's going to make you pay. Bryce Love on the carry, and he's going to plow his way forward for a gain of about 5. This is a lead read option. Who's the man? Who am I supposed to be reading? He's going to hand it off to Jordan Scarlett. He's trying to go for number 3 today. No luck as the end of the 3rd quarter has us. Here we go. Looking to hand off 1st and goal.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Handoff, Scarlett wrapped up in the backfield. Nigel Bradham coming there with Kevin Pierre-Louis right behind him. Cam Newton in the gun. Another handoff to Scarlett. There's a flag on the play. And that's on the recent pickup. Brings up a 2nd and goal. Here we go. At the 17-yard line. Scarlett met and wrapped up immediately by Derek Barnett. Scarlett's really struggling right now. Got to find a good play. Trying to get us in the end zone. Here we go. Smash concept. Looking for DJ Moore in the corner or Ian Thomas in the corner. So we get, it's a wide open Des Bryant. We can get wrapped up immediately by number 22, Sidney Jones. Here we go, Graham Gano coming out to kick a field goal here. A touchdown would have been nice. Here we go, going to kick off 8.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter of play, 48-10, as the Panthers grabbed a field goal.
Let's go!
Here we go, here comes the Panthers defense, who had an interception last time. Fires, and that's number 19, to make the catch. It's Arcega-Whiteside once again. He's been targeted a few times and made a good amount of catches. Flag on the play, looks like a false start in the offense.
Still second down.
Listen. 54, right there. 54, Mike. I'm coming after you.
Wentz in the gun here with 3 receivers to the left side. And caught by number 16, moving the chains. Is off the top of my head, I can't remember what his name is. That's Mac Hollins. There we go. That's who I was thinking of.
Hey, here we go. 180. 54. Mike, 54. He's tired of me.
Firing incompletes. Intended for Mac Hollins. Nice job, James Bradbury on the coverage. Firing incomplete. Byron Murphy and Dante Jackson on the play. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Eagles. Wentz firing outside, and Mac Hollins close to a first, but shy by a yard. Are they going to go for it? And they are. The punt is away and out at the 18. Nice job. And Jordan Scarlett plowing his way forward for a nice gain. And we have 2 tight ends in the backfield with a fullback. This is a very run strong heavy formation as Scarlett picks up a first down wrapped up by Malik Jackson. Cam Newton under center and another handoff. Jordan Scarlett once again, except he's losing 3 on this one.
Switch up.
2nd and 13 for Cam Newton, dropping back play action. That's caught by Dez Bryant. The connection that Cam and Dez have since season 1 is phenomenal, and it's just continuing to grow. And I think that going forward, even with Dez Bryant, I think that we're going to continue to see Dez Bryant and Cam Newton have a very good connection. Elijah Holyfield getting in the game for a snap today. Greg Olsen in motion. The longest tenured Panther as Elijah Holyfield gets leveled by Brandon Graham. Brings up a 3rd and 8. That's the man we're reading. And breaking off a 1, trying to break another. Newton, nice job, good run. Brings up 4th and 3, and that's going to call on a Graham Gano field goal of 54 yards. Will Greer snap down, hold is good as the kick is up and through for 41 points. A 41-point lead by the Panthers.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Waiting. 59. Let's go. Joker.
And drop play by Carson Wentz, and that's going to be handoff to Hines. 19 carries for almost 100 yards on the ground for Hines today. Wentz in the gun, 2 tight ends to his left. He motions Hines out of the backfield. Watch the pass. Drops back. Fires over the middle, and that's Deshaun Jackson making a nice big catch.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Dropping back. Wentz all day to throw. He fires this time. That's to Alshon Jeffrey, who gets leveled by Kuechly after he couldn't get wrapped up by Byron Murphy. Wentz 2nd and 6. Drops back, fires, and wrapped up immediately by Eric Berry that time. Dropping back, firing over the middle, and that's Alshon Jeffrey, who gets fumbled. And Trey Boston there to immediately scoop it up, man. Kuechly, you are phenomenal. Luke Kuechly is absolutely ridiculous. Cam Newton in the gun. Handoff to Scarlett, who's wrapped up immediately by Malik Jackson, who's done a very good job today. Nice job, Malik Jackson. Here we go, Cam Newton looking to hand off to Jordan Scarlett, but that's the 2-minute warning that has approached us. Looking to hand it off, 2nd and 12. Bryce Love looking to get a handoff here. Bryce Love in the open field, and he's going to pick up a nice gain, moving the chains down to a 3rd and 1. Looking for a halfback dive here for Jordan Scarlett for the first down. Good double team, and does he get it? I think he's going to be short. I think they're calling 4th and inches. It's going to be 4th and inches. Nice job by Sidney Jones. This is a 67-yard field goal attempt. He has to be perfect. 67 yards, and Graham Gano drills it. The all-time record for the longest field goal attempt. Graham Gano goes 67 yards. We'll look it up. The longest field goal in NFL history is 64 yards. Set by Matt Prater in 2013. He just went 67. Graham Gano is in the history books with a 67-yard field goal attempt.
Right there. 54, Mike. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Firing, Zach Ertz gets wrapped up by Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy been pretty active today. We're not getting rid of Eric Berry. Eric Berry's too important to this team. But Greg Olson might be willing to give up. Maybe for some offensive linemen or a player and some picks. Or worst comes to worst, trade him to a team that needs a good tight end who has a lower overall tight end. Then maybe I can take instead someone I can build on. Coming back for Wentz, firing over the middle and a big hit on Mac Hollins. Pick up a tight end and a couple of draft picks. That's going to end the end of the game. Oh, as the game blitzed a little bit there when they took the picture. Here's a look at some of the highlights, some of the big plays, some of the nice snaps that the game was able to snag. Here's a look at the final score. They did throw for 280 yards as we had more on the ground than they did. We're much more of a running team. 9 takeaways. 5 or 6 of those are fumbles. That was incredible. What a game. I know I forgot to look at the stats, but we'll look up in just a second. And nobody gets upgraded, but we are going to take a look at the box score, just so we can look at the player stats. So here is ours. Cam Newton went 102. He went 2 touchdowns and an interception. He only got sacked once. Beautiful job by the offensive line. Scarlett, 25 carries, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns, no fumbles. Cam Newton, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble, 5 carries, 48 yards. Bryce Love, 5 for 24. Receiving, Dez Bryant, 6 for 81 and a touchdown. Ian Thomas, 1 for 23 and a touchdown. Blocking, we only had 1 sack let up, and that was by the right tackle, Darrell Williams. Defensively, Luke Kuechly had 10 solo tackles. He had 6 assisted tackles, and he had 16 total tackles with Eric Reed coming up right behind him. Tackles for loss, 2 by Kuechly. 2 sacks from Joe McCoy, 1 from Brian Burns, 1 from Shaquem Griffin. Interceptions, 1 from Eric Berry, 1 from Dante Jackson. And let's see, almost there. Pass deflections, Dante, Luke, Eric, and Shaq. 6 forced fumbles from Kuechly and 1 from Brian Burns. Fumble recoveries, 2 from Shaquem, 1 from Brian, 1 from Eric, 1 from Trey, 1 from Vernon, 1 from Luke. And defensive touchdowns, we had 1 from Shaquem Griffin. That was crazy. That was crazy. Moving into next week. So Cam Newton's contract is going to be expiring fairly soon. He is 31 years old, and he is slowly starting to regress. Let's take a look at his contract right now. Let's see, how many years does he have left on his contract? So his contract ends in 2020. Is he worth re-signing? I hope you guys can help me. Let me know if you guys think I should re-sign Cam Newton, or if it's time to move on to Will Grier. If the Cam Newton era is over, we're going to be going to Will Grier. But if the Cam Newton era is still active, he's the number 7 ranked quarterback in the league, putting him in the top 5%. He is fast. Look at his speed. He has 85 speed as a quarterback. 82 trucking, 83 stiff arm. 96 injury, 95 stamina, 99 toughness. He has 93 throw power, 88 throw on the run, 93 play action, 95 break sack, 84 under pressure. Cam Newton is he's so good. He's got the freight train. He hasn't quite unlocked bulldozer, but he does get freight train. And red zone deadeye. So, I mean, Cam Newton has to be re-signed by the end of the season. Let me know. I mean, if we started negotiations, look at our caps at our cap room right now. We extended to a 5 or 6 year contract, even 7 years. I guess 7 years makes it more expensive. A 5-year contract would make it the cheapest for us in the long term. We'd be taking, for the cheapest cap hit, a 5-year contract would only take 25 off. Right now, a 3-year extension makes it a fair offer for him, and I don't want to throw that at him yet. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys think that I should extend the contract to him. And see, there you go. There's Greg Olsen. We have to re-sign him too. He's going to want 9 over 2 years. So, I mean, and that's what we're going to go do. We're going to go trade him. We're going to go look to trade Greg Olsen, because Jeremy Sprinkle, who we are going to re-sign, because he's good enough. Right now, we only have Will Grier to back him up. Will Grier is nowhere near as good as Cam Newton is. Now, he could be. He's got plenty of time to develop, and he has solid throwing accuracy. His throw power isn't quite where I would want it to be. Greg Olsen is 35 years old. Ian Thomas is playing tremendous football, and I believe he's the future of our franchise. Now, I do want to trade away Greg Olsen to a team that needs a tight end. So the Browns don't really need one. Let's look at a team that actually needs one. Do the Cardinals need one? Yes, they do. I don't really have anybody I want. These guys don't have anybody I really want. The Cowboys took Brandon Coleman from me. He's a little bit older than I would like. Where did their tight end go? We could go for Austin Hooper or... I'm just kind of looking. George Kittle would be nice. Caden Smith, maybe. Ricky Seals-Jones is always a nice one. He's very good. He's got really good speed. He could be good. Evan Ingram would be also good. He has the same development. He's not quite as good in the receiving category, but he's getting better. He'd be a good trade straight up. But I kind of want to go for someone who's much younger that I can develop over the period of a couple of years. There's Jimmy G, Jimmy Graham, Jay Sternberger. There's Dwayne Allen on the Raiders. Gerald Everett. I like Gerald Everett. Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst. Eric Ebron. Jordan Reed. And I'm just trying to find some young guys. Will Disley. There's Johnny Smith. I believe he's from FIU. Solid development, which is good too. Irv Smith. He has star development. He fits my scheme. He's 22. He's out of Alabama. I want Irv Smith Jr. for Greg Olsen. And what draft picks do I have right now? I don't have my first, but I have a second, third, fifth, and multiple sevenths. So let's go for... Let's go for a fourth. Let's go for a fourth. Irv Smith and a fourth. Oh, they don't have the salary cap space to do that. Darn. Teams who actually have the salary cap space would be the Bucks. I'd have to trade for somebody good on the Cardinals. That means I'd have to take some salary as well, and I really don't want to do that. Buda Baker wouldn't be bad. Does he have good cornerback stats? 78 man coverage. 68 zone coverage. His zone coverage is pretty garbage. He'd make a good corner, though. I could build him. Jalen Mills. Robert Alford. Chandler Jones, who's 30. Jordan Hicks. Hassan Reddick. Nobody really has the cap room. The Colts don't really want him. Dolphins don't really want him. The problem is that not very many teams actually have the cap space to take him. Seahawks don't even want him. Texans don't even want him. Let me see. It's not what I wanted. I meant teams. Texans at tight end. Who do they have? They have Cameron Brate. This would be an upgrade for them. Jordan Thomas doesn't have good development. He's got solid speed. That's the problem, is that I want to find somebody with good development and a team that actually has the cap space to be able to take him. So let's see. Another Bucks. They have O.J. Howard, and I would love O.J. Howard from Bama. What about Jordan Leggett? He doesn't have good development. Donnie Ernsberger. No. Colts. Who's their tight end? Jack Doyle, who's also 30. Jadarius Montgomery. Rookie out of Oklahoma State. He's got a lot of time to develop. But do they all... What else do they have? They have at corner. They have Jason Verrett. Kenny Moore II, Pierre Desir, Quincy Wilson. Pretty far off from that. We need D-tackle. We don't need a D-tackle. We don't need outside linebackers. We do need corners, though, going forward. What other teams? The Cowboys and the Dolphins. Dolphins could use a tight end, because all they have is Kyle Rudolph, and imagine that 2 tight end set for them. I have anybody I could take, but they do have Xavier Howard, who I doubt they'd give up. Rashawn Melvin, Jimmy Smith. I want Minkah Fitzpatrick. Would they give that to me? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Greg Olsen for Minkah? Yeah, no. No interest in that. What about the boys? What about the boys? Cowboys got Byron Jones, Chidobe Awuzie, Anthony Brown. Nobody who's scheme fit. Chidobe has good development, and he's pretty close to a zone corner. I want Chidobe and take a 4th and a 5th for Greg Olsen. Not interested. What if I take that off the board? Still not interested. What about that? Wow, they are really not interested in him. Let's see what I can find. I mean, I'm trying to... The teams that want him... So the Browns want him. Who do they have at tight end, though? They have David Njoku from Miami. And they have Demetrius Harris, who's almost 30. Jesus. Who do they have at corner? If I'm going to trade, I'd be picking up like Denzel Ward. I'd be trading for their best corner. That's the problem. You know, they'd still put him over their salary cap, and they would not give me that. I'd need to take somebody off of their hands in order to do that. I would love Baker, but they're not going to give me their starting quarterback. Duke Johnson, I don't need a running back. I don't need a fullback. I could take Odell or Jarvis. Jarvis would be fun to have for a little bit. David Moore maybe as well. Antonio Callaway has some pretty nice speed, but he has horrendous development. Jarvis Landry has star development, and of course Odell Beckham is next factor. I'm curious. Would they give me that? Nope. I kind of figured. Let me see. Let me think. If I'm going to trade, I'd want Denzel Ward then. I'd still put him over the salary cap. And they're not going to give me Denzel Ward. I mean, I'll take... Have anybody in middle or right or left? Jannard Avery. I mean, I really don't need any more D linemen. I really only need a corner. I don't need anybody else. They have Chad Thomas. Olivia Vernon would be who they'd probably be trying to get rid of. Massive contract. Go for Henry Silvers. Still not quite enough. I could take Demetrius Harris off of their hands. Yeah, nowhere near. Okay. They don't have anybody I want for the salary cap that they have. Even if I look at the Cardinals, I mean, I could look at Budda Baker. Tight end, they don't really have anybody. They have Max Williams, Lee Smith, Caleb Wilson. Max Williams is 26. He's pretty close to a vertical threat, but he doesn't have good development. Lee Smith is way too old. The only player that I would want from their defense is maybe Jalen Mills, but he doesn't have good development, so there's no need for me to trade for him. I believe Budda Baker has star development, and I doubt they would give that to me. Plus, there's not enough... I'm not taking enough of their cap, which is the problem. So they don't really have anybody I want. If we continue going, the Jaguars... See, safety, they have Ronnie Harrison and Jared Wilson. Corner, they have Jalen, AJ Bouye. Nobody there. At tight end, who do they have? James O'Shaughnessy, who's way too old. Josh Oliver. He's 6'5". He has horrendous development. Really good speed, though. Yeah, I mean, they really don't have it. I mean, a lot of these teams don't really have anybody I want. They have Cam Robinson at left tackle. I like Cam. He has no development, though. Josh Allen. I would go for Josh Allen. I mean, yeah, Josh Allen would be about it. That takes nowhere near the amount that I'd need to take off in order for it to happen. The Packers and the Patriots both will take them. Let's take a look and see who they have. Graham Sternberger. Who do they have at corner? They have Zaire Alexander. Who do they have at safety? They have Darnell Savage. I would love Darnell Savage. Adrian Amos. He's 27. That would take most of it off, actually, for Adrian Amos. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And I could send them Eric Reed. I mean, I'm just looking. I'm just thinking. What about Jace Sternberger? He's 23, 6'4", decent speed, good blocking, could develop. Let's take Jace Sternberger, Adrian Amos, and I will give them Eric Reed. No, I don't want Eric Reed. Who do I have at middle linebacker? I don't have anybody at DT that I could give them. I bet they'd love Gerald McCoy. That would put them way over. They're still not enough. I don't want Josh Jones. I'd want Darnell Savage because he has that good development. Even if I went after Zaire Alexander or Kevin King or Josh Jackson even. Still not enough. They'd be over. That'd barely put them. Yeah. See, they don't want what I want. Patriots. Tom Brady's still playing? He's 43. Good Lord. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely crazy. Edelman, Demaryius Thomas, Keel Harry, Isaiah Wynn, Joe Thuney. The whole team is still really good. Michael Bennett, Lawrence Guy, Danny Shelton, Dietrich Wise, Chase Winovich. Does Chase have good development? He does. He has star development, actually. What are we looking at for his outside linebacker stuff? 75 block shot. He plays solid D-end. I don't really need a D-end, though. All their players are too old. They don't have anybody I'd want. That's the problem. They don't have the cap space to take him. What about the Raiders? Let's take a look. Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams, Hunter Renfrow. I'd need to get rid of $5 million in cap space. Gabe Jackson would be a solid pickup for us, but we already have a good right guard. Don't need Trent Brown. Clelin Ferrell, I don't need D-line. I'd need corners. Garyon Conley would be a nice pickup for us. Let's try Garyon Conley. See, it's still going to put him over the salary cap. They're not going to give me the players that I want. That's the only negative. I mean, I'll even take Gabe Jackson off of your hands. for Garyon Conley, you guys will get Greg Olson. See, almost they like that, but they don't. They want Garyon. They want to keep Garyon. They don't. They'd be more than willing to trade that. And see, I don't want to do that. Saints will take a tight end. Who do they have? Jared Cook, Austin Jenkins. They have some good players. Let's see who we got at wide receiver that I could trade for. No. What about corners? Marshawn Lattimore. Eli Apple wouldn't be a bad one. Ronald Darby actually wouldn't be too bad for us. He's 26, has star development, has plenty of time to develop. I mean, Marshawn is a much better player, of course. Even Eli Apple, but he has no development. That's the problem. How about Ronald Darby? Trade for player. What's Ronald Darby's contract? Does his contract expire? No, he's good till 2022. I like that, actually. I really do. I'm glad... That's not what I meant to do. I meant to go... trade away. Yes, he's the longest tenured guy, but I mean, getting rid of him means that that's one less contract I have to worry about. And especially if we take somebody like Ronald Darby, who could develop into something better in the next couple of years, and he's good for the next 2 years. It's only a $6 million cap hit, and that'd bring us down to 10.4. What if we threw... Curious, actually. What if we threw Gerald McCoy? If we threw them Gerald McCoy at right end, who they want... Who do they have at right end? Maybe somebody a backup might have Marcus Davenport. Does he have good development? No. Just trying to think. Sorry, this is going on much longer. It's a little bit of a extended thing. Take some 2 mil. If I take Marcus Davenport, that still puts them over. I really like that. I really want Marcus Davenport. So let's take Marcus Davenport to develop. I'm not going to take their Eli Apple. Derek Clark, no thanks. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Saquon Hampton. Let's try Saquon Hampton. We're still short. No. Take Mario Edwards. I like Mario Edwards from Florida State. Or Malcolm Brown from Texas. I like Malcolm Brown. He's not a very good speed rusher. How close are you to speed rusher? None of them very close. I'll take Mario Edwards. No, not interested. What if I throw them... I'm not going to give him Kawan Short. See, I do that and they're good. But I want Marcus Davenport. That's the problem, is I'd want Marcus. And they wouldn't give that up. And I don't really have anybody else to give them. Left outside, I really don't have a left or even a right outside linebacker to give them. Or a middle. I mean, I could send them Shaq Thompson, but I really don't want to. I could send them a corner in trade. Could send them James Bradbury, who's played decent for us. Again, that'll still put him over the salary cap. See, this is the problem with the trade system, is that it is the salary cap is very difficult. I don't have anyone else to give them. See, that's the problem. I have no one else to give them. I have absolutely no one to give them. I really don't. I mean, even at quarterback, I'm not going to give him Will Grier because he's my backup quarterback and I need him. I don't have anybody at left outside linebacker to give him. And I mean, I'm really pushing it by getting rid of Gerald McCoy because that would mean that Kerry Jackson, which he wouldn't, it'd be Vernon Butler who I would start over him. And it's 720,000, and that's the problem. I'll take Roy Roberts off your hands. They don't want that. They don't want to give up Ronald Darby. They just want him. It's not like they're being reasonable. They just want him. Let's see teams that we can find that'll take a tight end and Greg Olsen. The Steelers don't have the cap space for it. Tight end, they have Vance McDonald. They don't have anybody good. Who do they? They need corners, of course. They have Joe Hayden, Daryl Worley. Yeah, they don't really have anybody. Even they have Terrell Edmonds, who's not all that great. And they have Devin Bush, Danny Trevathan, Josh Martin, and then of course they have T.J. Watt, who's really good. But I need corners. See, that's the thing is I need a backup. I need a new corner. So the Bears will take Gerald McCoy. That would put them way over. This would be a little bit more reasonable. Let's take a look at their corners. Kyle Fuller, Trey Waynes. Still a little too old for me. Trey Waynes is up there. What's he good through? What's his contract good until? Yeah, it's just through 2020. Sorry that the stream is taking so long. I'm just trying to find a good trade for Greg Olsen. Maybe I'll just leave him on the trade block and we'll see what we can get for him. I mean, even with Gerald McCoy, teams that want both, Cardinals, of course. They don't want to give up what I want. Jaguars, both, but they don't want to give up what I want. The Packers wouldn't want to give up Adrian Amos. Darnell Savage would come nowhere near close to covering the amount that they need to take. I'd be taking those two. And that still puts them over the salary cap. Who would they want me to take? Someone like maybe Devontae Adams. Take their number 1 wide receiver. Is he an X Factor? No, he's just a superstar. He's still here for a couple years. What's his contract good until? Is he in a contract year right now? He's good till next year. I don't know. I think I'm just going to throw them on the trade block for right now. And we'll just see what we can get. But I really wanted that Saints trade. But they have no interest. Oh well. Let me know in the comments. Sorry this dragged on a little bit longer than I wanted it to. Let me know in the comments how much money we should offer Cam Newton. Let me know a good, reasonable contract. Or if we should maybe try and look to trade him. Maybe even looking to trade Cam Newton would be a good idea. Maybe trade for someone who can come in, or just wait until the end of the season, trade him. If you guys think I should do that, then we'll wait and we'll trade him at the end of the season. Otherwise, we could offer him a contract and see what we can do. Other than that, I appreciate you guys joining me and watching and supporting the channel. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And I will catch you guys next time.